So you've heard me talk about the gig economy. We got some new research here. Finance Yahoo article, new gig economy research reveals trends shaping the future of work. And I would guess that a lot of you are doing this, but this is actually really informative stuff here. So new research done by PayQuicker, an innovative financial technology leader in the global payouts market. Now, the reason they did this research is, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we will cover this briefly. Not only is the gig economy changing the way we work, but it's changing the way we get paid. And on-demand payment is the name of the game going forward. You know, the whole I get paid every 2 weeks or I get paid once a month and it's direct deposit and all that. This stuff, the gig economy is changing that. And so this is fascinating. So I want to break this down for you. They sampled 2,000 gig workers in the United States. And economists are estimating that the gig economy will create an economic impact to exceed $1 trillion in the U.S. And the number of gig workers is estimated to reach, this is staggering, 78 million Americans by the end of this year, 2023. All right, so now quick, what is the gig economy? Or what do we mean by gig work? So gig work is part-time work, and it's on-demand work, so it's everything. And I'm going to break down what the fields are so that you understand this completely. But gig work is I'm not full-time, I'm not a full-time employee, and I kind of do it as I please. I jump in when I want to, jump out when I want to. So the gig economy is much more than just what you think when you think of Uber or Lyft. And actually, the most popular gig reported is restaurant, grocery, and delivery services. So listen, the pandemic changed everything for people. You know, just like the iPhone changed everything, the pandemic changed everything when people were like, you got to be kidding me. I can call up, fill in the blank restaurant, and they can deliver food. Kelly, you'll appreciate this. I come home 2 nights ago, and my 14-year-old daughter, Josie, says to me, hey, Dad, what's for dinner? And I say, I don't know. I haven't talked to Mom yet. You know, we'll figure it out. She goes, I just want to do Uber Eats. She's 14. I go, what do you want to order from Uber Eats? And she tells me the restaurant. And I go, no. She goes, Dad, I have money. Babysitting. I said, I don't care. You're 14. Save your money. But she's like, I don't want to eat what you guys are going to. So I'm going to order Uber Eats. 14. So the pandemic changed everything. And so that's why the most popular gig job right now is food delivery, grocery delivery, or any other kind of delivery. Why? Because people go, you know what? I'll pay extra so I don't have to leave my house. Fascinating. That's 13% of American gig workers. That's the largest percentage of gig workers are in delivery, okay? Ride sharing is only 8%. So Uber, Lyft, only 8%. Child care or elder care services, 7%. And that's growing, by the way. In fact, my wife's grandmother, 93, lives with my in-laws, and they're nearby. And we went after a couple services, and we weren't happy with the service where they would sit with her for hours on end. So you know what we started doing? We just went and got a 21-year-old babysitter. And then Nana's fine. But she just needs somebody there in case she has some type of illness or she, just take care, make sure she's okay. This is the gig economy. So elderly care, not just child care. And then that's 7%. Then freelance graphic design, photography, and copy editing, they lumped all of those gigs into 4%. And so that's just, those are the biggest categories. Everything else is just very, very small. Now, the study also found that 60% of gig workforce workers are working multiple gigs, not just one, with 23% saying they work more than 3. So you could have somebody doing freelance design, graphic design during the day. They hop in the car and deliver stuff at night. Now, what would you think is the most is the most popular reason for why people are doing gig work? Is it they need more money? That's what I would have guessed. Inflation has been high. People want to make more money. We see credit card debt at an all-time high. People living paycheck to paycheck. That would have been my guess. It's not true. Individuals enter into these gigs for reasons other than money. 55% of the respondents working one gig reported they expected to make less than $300 a month. So that's not exciting. Only about 13% of gig workers surveyed reported that they make $1,000 or more in a month. Here's what they're saying. They partake in gig work to be intentional with their spare time, with 25% saying they enjoy the work or they use the time to explore different interests. Now, this is awesome. By the way, this is, again, more proof that we humans desire to work. We want to make a difference. We want to contribute. This idea of living the work-free life is not natural. It is not good for who you are. And this idea that retirement is, I just play shuffleboard all day long, I'm telling you something, that is going to quicken your trip to the grave. You should be working on some level, in some capacity, till the day you die. That's what I believe. By the way, science and medical reports back all that up. So gig work is driven by freedom, flexibility, and intentionality. So this is now translating how they want to be paid. When asked why they took on gig work, 46% reported the need for more money, but it's not just extra money. They want to be intentional with the money. Half of respondents reported they primarily use the money earned from their gig to pay household bills. 34% report they use the money to save, invest, or support a lifestyle. 83% of the gig workers who reported working one gig said it's somewhat important or very important that they're paid for their performance in a timely fashion. So how is that playing out? 1/3 of the gig workers surveyed said they were paid immediately upon finishing the gig. 2/3 are not. So when looking for gig work, more than half of these gig workers cite a compensation or payment-related reason for the most important characteristics. So they want to get paid frequently and they want to get paid quickly, on time, right? So pretty fascinating stuff. Now, when you go back to the data of 78 million people are estimated to be doing one or more gig-type jobs by the end of this year, this is going to change the way we work overall. I'm going to tell you where it's going to change, where it will affect you. What we're going to see is white-collar work will eventually join the ranks of this other stuff. We're already seeing a little creep here when we saw graphic design and photography. That's not traditionally, photography would not be considered a white-collar job because it's creative and flexible in nature, but graphic design is. Watch for accounting, watch for technology, which, by the way, is already happening on a contract level. If you expand the gig economy to contract or freelance, then it's going to change dramatically. And you're going to see people who are working 2 and 3 and 4 close to full-time contract jobs. And they're going to, through AI and through the fact that it's contract, so it's remote. So where does remote work go as it relates to the gig and the freelance economy? Here's what I think happens. I think hybrid work becomes the predominant model. Most companies allowing you to work away from the office some of the time during the week. But instead of the full-time remote, what you're going to see is what used to be a full-time remote worker will now be contracted out by a company. And so you're going to see a lot of freelance work. Now, why do I share all this? Why am I telling you this? Why does it matter to you? For those of you who want to work more for yourself and have more flexibility, this is expanding rapidly. You don't have to start a company. All you got to do is start doing gig work, start doing freelance work, and watch your opportunities come at you because you don't cost as much money as a full-time employee.